So happy to see you guys today. Casey and Natalie here, and we're going to talk about the buyer's agitation right now in the market. And we're going to tell you about our truth and what we're seeing with our own clients, and hopefully this will make you feel better. All right, 3 words to describe buyers right now.
Frustrated, challenged,
Agitated.
yeah.
Hopeless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But we're here to tell you we've got some good stories, right? So this is the truth. This is what you guys are going through. We're going to talk to you about some of our people today, our clients that we love to death and went through the fight to get their home. But we're going to tell you what we've seen out there in this crazy market, and you can know you're not alone, and this is what you're up against. So let's get with we won't say names in this, but we had a client just recently that they went out and they saw the house,
Mm-hmm.
and you recommended that they do what in their offer?
An escalation clause.
An escalation clause.
Yes.
Okay.
That is basically when you are putting in an offer on a home and you know there's coming in with multiple offers, which is very common right now. So what that does is it automatically increases your bid to a certain point. So basically what it's saying is, I like this house and I'm willing to pay this amount for this house. And I'll pay up to this amount, and I'll go up in small amounts so I can compete with everyone else that's going for the same property. That's a good way to help in this situation, because it's
So the first time you recommended that escalation clause, so
Right.
basically if there are other offers, it would kind of keep countering above those automatically, okay?
Right.
But they decided they didn't want to do the escalation clause.
Mm-hmm.
They were scared about it. They didn't know, if the market would really support that right now.
Right.
So they didn't do it.
They put in a strong offer, but they
Yep.
didn't. They chose not to do the escalation clause.
And what was how were they above asking
Yes,
price?
they were even above asking price. I think they were 10,000 above asking price. So I mean,
Okay.
it was definitely a good offer.
So so you're probably feeling really good.
Right.
You're 10,000 above asking price.
Correct. Right. I
you're-
felt good about it. I mean, I thought you definitely have a good chance.
Yeah. So what was the outcome?
Unfortunately, we didn't get it. Someone overbid, even our 10,000 over. So they did not get it. I don't know what would have happened if we would have done the escalation clause, but there would have maybe been a chance.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So they were, clearly they were frustrated. This is something that we're constantly seeing in the market. If you're in a certain price point, things are going above asking. So if your agent looks at you and is like, you got to be strong in your offer, you've got to be competitive, I would go above asking. They're seriously being serious.
Right. This is not an agent trying to make more money. That's not what we're doing. What we're doing is trying to get you the home.
Yes.
And sometimes that's what it takes, especially in this market. So
Yeah. Now let's talk about. We've been seeing maybe some people reach a point where they've lost 3 houses. They put 3 bids in.
Right.
And they start losing hope almost.
Right. And this is where I think you could maybe. My suggestion would be maybe to lower your search price, because they're probably going to go over asking. So if you're not wanting to spend over 175, maybe you should go down a little bit into the 160s, 165s, so you can allow that room when you put that offer in that you might have a shot at it.
That's huge. We've really been recommending this with our clients. If you're approved up to 185, let's not look at 185, because it's not going to sell for 185. It's going to probably sell around 195, 200. So let's look lower, around that 165 mark, which now gives you room to negotiate up to your approved price.
Right.
And now you're competitive and you're in the mix. So if you're at 185, be looking around the 165, because they're probably going to go up in the 180s.
Right. I think that's smart. That's the way to come back at this market. Is to be competitive, and to be competitive, maybe tone down your little bit of your purchase price, and then be able to possibly be one of the contenders.
Yeah. What could we tell some of the people out there? What can we tell them to keep them positive and to not give up? How many offers does it take, have we been seeing, to finally get the home?
Right. I would say, I mean, there's still people out there able to get what they want, but sometimes it's not the first house that they put an offer in.
But honestly, we've seen it both ways.
Yeah, there's still offers being taken. I mean, and
we've
and
got them the
accepted.
first time,
Right.
But then sometimes, it wasn't until the fifth one.
Right. It tends to be on the houses that maybe have certain things that people are looking for, maybe larger yards. If you're wanting the houses, there's a lot of people wanting large yards, so you're going to have more competition. But there are still houses out there that you're not going above asking, but majority of them, I would say, definitely are. So.
We had a listing. This is great. This is a great story here to kind of help the buyers out there. And we had a listing, and they had 3 offers come in. They were all very similar, except for one of them. It was the same. They wanted to pay the same amount as everybody else, but they did not want any closing costs paid for. They were going to pay their own closing costs. They were going to buy the property in as is condition. They still wanted an inspection, but they were saying, hey, we won't ask for any additional repairs. So they spruced up, and it was the same asking price, but it was a really clean offer saying,
We're going to bother you with a bunch of
odd and end stuff.
Right, which is huge.
Yeah, so
for a
clean.
seller.
Yeah, so when you're also putting your offer in, make it clean. Don't be asking for lots of closing costs and things like that. Put more earnest money back. Show them you're a more serious buyer. More earnest money down. Did I say back?
Well, either way, it's more money to let them know they want the house. So.
Yes. So anyways, anything else we can think of with our clients?
I'd say also being timely. I mean, if you're really searching for a home and that listing comes up that morning, you need to go see it that day probably if you want to be a contender. So that's the other thing, is being available to go see them when they pop up.
Oh, that's so good.
Huge.
That's so good.
Yeah, it's
We'll get a call and it'll go on the market today, and they'll say, can you schedule me, 3 days from now? And we'll pick up the phone and say, listen, you need to get in today. It's going to probably be gone by tomorrow.
Right. Or you want to take a chance on it being gone for sure.
And, we've seen some people go through that cycle where they just didn't really believe it, and now they're like, right when it comes on, they're getting out there.
Right, because they've learned that if they wait, they might not have that opportunity.
Yeah, so it is a very frustrating buyer's market. We know you're frustrated, but know it's not your agent. It's not anything that you're doing wrong. It is the market. I mean, we just have not a lot of listings and a lot of buyers. So just hang in there.
Right. We'll help you every way we can. And like I said, it's a lot about the competition out there, but as long as you know what the competition is and that's what we've dealt with, then we can help you.
That's why they should use us.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
We know how to negotiate.
For sure.
Yeah. And we're on it.
We're on it. We are.
Because we're ballers. We kind of are.
Kinda.
We're ex-basketball players.
Yes.
So now we're real estate ballers.
So we're teammates when we were younger. Now we're teammates now, and
yeah, and it's kind of like I'm throwing the ball and you're like gonna dunk it
I don't know
at 5 foot tall.
I was gonna say I'm only 5 foot, so I don't know about dunking. But
all right, you guys, hang in there. I know it's a crazy market. Natalie, me, Jamie, who's back here behind the camera, also my team. We're here for you guys. Listing, buying. Whatever you need, we're here to help you guys out. So thanks for joining us, and keep your head up and keep a positive attitude.